Okay, today we're going to look at landing a thigh kick to the thighs, to his thigh, and how you're facing a guy who, he's in a stance where you can tell. As soon as you go to throw a kick, he's going to raise that knee up, and you're going to kick either his upper shin or right on the knee, and it's going to hurt you. But what you understand about this is that his defense against a kick, the way he checks a kick, it has a period to it. It comes up and then it has to come down. He can't just leave it up there. He wouldn't want to. And the way I can sneak my kick in is by faking and then throwing it on a half beat. And again, remember to keep your hands up as you're doing it, because you're also looking for how he's ready to respond. If he thinks you're going to kick, then he might be ready to throw his cross at that moment. You got to watch for that. So when we talk about kicks, and this is something that really needs to be said, when you talk about throwing a kick, you have to talk about the setup as well. Because if I just stand in front of him and I think I'm just going to step in and throw a kick, he can see that coming. Okay, it's not really very well masked. It's not very well concealed. And my delivery, my entry, he's got that time and the space to counterattack and to, for that matter, just to check that kick and hurt my leg. And so we have to back up a little bit and look at how I'll throw the hip just to see him, what he's going to do. This way also, I'll know if he's going to throw his cross or whatever else, and I'll be able to get out of the way of it. Because one of the biggest mistakes you can make when you throw a kick is to stand right in front of him and just be here and just throw the kick. Boom, yeah. Because as you're throwing it, he has a line of sight right down that line to hit you. Which is why with your footwork you tend to want to go off to the side and bury the bone of that shin into his thigh as if you were kicking a soccer ball that way, as if you were projecting something that way. So I don't have this model of kicking like I'm standing in front of him and just going to kick, because he is going to punch, and the way the weapons stack up, punch beats kick most of the time, okay, virtually every time, if the guy knows what he's doing. So if I know, now we can address this, if I know he's going to raise his knee to check my kick, I want him to raise it and then kick him a half beat after. That's one thing you can do to either get that leg, to hit his leg, or to get the other leg, okay? So when I'm here, I fake the leg, and then, boom, then the leg comes through. My hip comes through. So you do a half commitment of the hip, boom, and then you come through. It might be off of your cross. It might be here, boom, 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 and then I kick. This is when I know I've got him somewhat on the run. If he's intimidated by my kicks, then feinting with the hip before you throw it is very effective. If he's not intimidated by your kicks, you have to be very careful, because the moment you throw the kick, whether it's a feint or a real kick, he's looking to attack into your attack, and if he knows again how to trump the kick with his cross and a couple other things, then you could be in trouble. Okay, so when I'm here too, don't forget to turn your hip over when you do finally kick, and not to be in front of him. Okay, with footwork that either has you stepping across at a 45, or it has you getting out of the line before you kick anyway, just so that again you're sort of respecting the fact that he can punch up that line. And then you're aware that if he's in a stance, especially with his weight back, and he's got the weight light on that lead foot, he's ready to raise it, then kicking at that level, or even at a higher level, you're going to run into an elbow or a knee unless you sneak past his guard.